no one's going to stop you practicing
I agree.
melee.
I think some of the best melee players of all time were really, really annoying for a long time, right?
Oh, yes.
I bet Mewtwo King was asking everybody for practice and help at the beginning and just trying to grind it out. And
he played with people that wouldn't even be close to his skill level.
Yeah, and eventually people wanted to play him, and that's how it goes. I think I was talking with somebody on production that Mewtwo King was like hanging out in somebody's room and like basically tweeted out like Peach players go to the. I was thinking Mewtwo King has the power to dox any hotel room in the country. He could just make up a tournament.
Yeah, he could just be like, I'm at the Bellagio, this room.
Yeah, I'm at the Hilton in downtown Chicago. Go to room 650 if you're a Peach player. And people would drive down the street and maybe not Chicago, but
it had to be. Well, first of all, there has to be a tournament where there are actually people there, right? Like
I think people would go. I think people would check.
Just locals.
And it's Swedish Delight and Azel. Welcome to the first game of the morning. We hope you guys are having some fun watching Melee.
Yeah, bright and early on Yoshi's story, we got Sheik versus Falco. Swedish, of course, rocking blue Sheik.
Swedish has had a year. He got a second at Combo Breaker, first at the Mango. A little bit of a fall from his previous peak of getting ranked, I think 11th or 12th. He was way, way up there.
Yeah, he was a near top 10 threat. Now he's still a top 20 threat.
Yeah.
Still a very consistent player.
I think he's still there, and he is still secretly a dark horse candidate to beat Hungrybox at any tournament. I don't know if their brackets intersect at this very one, but if you want to watch some really good Sheik puff that is not plup, Swedish Delight is your guy.
Definitely. He had a great set against him at Smash and Splash 2. He even went Luigi.
that is not the set I was thinking of. Maybe any other set besides that. Although that one does show you that Luigi is good against Puff, at least decent.
He makes it to the end of the bracket a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I remember from Swedish. This fair is going to take out that tournament winner.
Yeah.
Right there, that edge play right there, or sorry, the platform where Sheik stands on the side. It's very difficult for Falco to interact with it.
So Azel beat Zoo. What does that tell you? What does the Falco Ditto? What skills are revealed?
Shows you that Azel's really working hard. He's on the come up.
Yeah.
And I have to see what part of the matchups they, we're really focusing on, but
yeah,
it's really good sign for Azel to be on the stage to keep having his progress. That weak bear.
That was a deep dive from Swedish Delight. He was there. He was ready.
Great positioning. You want to keep that pressure with the positioning off stage.
I love vicious Sheik edge guarding of Spaceys. It just is so, they're so quick. They're just ready for everything. I feel like sometimes they know the Spacey's recovery better than the Spacey does.
Yeah, if you don't use your mix-ups, Sheik is just going to plant these great big moves. Edge guard attempt again. This near out of shield looks pretty good.
Neutral air out of shield is very frustrating.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do just unsafe shield pressure ever at 2018 Melee.
Yeah. It definitely forces, if you're like a Spacey player and you're big on getting in your opponent's face, it forces you to reevaluate a lot of what you were doing, because if they hit you with a nair out of shield, then you already have made a mistake 3 seconds before that when you were coming at them with whatever your option was.
Definitely.
Maybe you just missed your shine. That happens too.
Yeah. There are a lot of issues with timing, spacing. A lot of players, though, they won't tackle the issue of maybe I shouldn't have just gone in the first place.
Yeah.
Swedish adding up a lot of damage from this tech chase.
Goodness.
Yeah, he's carrying his lead pretty well. Nice recovery from Azel, but the pressure's still on.
He's destroying him.
He really is. The big thing that I've been catching is that Swedish is mastering the on-stage versus edge situation, where Azel's coming off the edge. He'll be able to grab the edge from his recovery, but then his play from there, he'll ledge dash into block, ledge dash into move, and Swedish is always positioned outside of it, respecting it and then punishing it.
Yeah. I just think to myself, what a world where the guy who beats Zoo just gets dumpstered. It's only game 1, though, and it was a 2-stock. I mean, there's been several times in this tournament where it's like game 1 has just been a crapshoot for one of the players. Yeah, very one-sided.
And then there's an adjustment period, especially with the counterpick map.
Yeah, I would want to see a lot of different shield pressure, and as we talked about, the better mix-ups on recovery. But I don't feel like I don't know if his mix-ups were bad as much as Swedish Delight was just faster and on him. Especially on Yoshi's, where it's a lot easier to cover a big range of areas with your back air.
Yeah. Sheik. A lot of times that positional pressure really stopped Falco's recovery. And let's see if these bigger edges kind of, ledge dashing into different options will help out. Another thing is these side platforms are a little closer to the middle, so Azel's not been having a little trouble.
This is a great start. Yeah, look at that, 34%. Okay.
Yeah, keeping it lean. Finding a good edge guard on Sheik.
Keeping it lean. Falco working out.
Damage. Barely missing that tech chase on the platform.
I feel like sometimes Sheik just makes you feel really stupid.
Dash attack, dash attack.
Yeah, when I get hit by the same stuff over and over, if I'm getting hit by more than one forward tilt in a row, or I don't DI the forward tilt correctly, It's just
She has a lot of DI traps. There's a lot of ways to DI it wrong. You have to understand it early.
stuff. It's very rewarding to catch her, though, and to get your combos going. I feel like much of the cast actually has very consistent and replicable combos on Sheik, Falco, Fox, obviously. But even like you go down to like Pikachu, Marth, Yoshi, a lot of the characters are pretty good.
Against Sheik.
Again, at comboing Sheik, yeah.
Yes, yeah. She is definitely susceptible to stuff, especially when she has no jump. That's my favorite time to combo her. Get her up in the sky with no jump.
She's a ninja. She wants to be low to the ground.
Use her wave dashes, use her grabs. I mean, she is a grab character. She can't grab in the air. There.
Swedish Delight has slowed down the pace of the match.
Yeah, it's important, especially with the stock down.
He's just kind of sitting here creating a wall.
Yeah.
Two down tilt. Oh, look at that needle.
And the patience really pays off. He played further away from the center and just forced a couple of weird interactions into edge guard. Just moving away, spacing for these needles. Great damage.
Sheik needles are so sick.
And 17.
If you haven't tried playing Sheik against some of your spacey friends, I would definitely recommend it. Just if nothing else, to practice the needle edge guards. It's just such a great feeling to snipe them out.
Ooh, it's really rewarding, especially with the diagonal aerial needle.
Mm-hmm.
The S smash is a great way to edge guard.
But it messes up. So this time Azel goes high instead of low, and that's what catches, allows him to get back. But Swedish Delight just goes right in.
Yeah, the choices Swedish is making is quite outstanding. These tech chases and continued pressure are really great. And he doesn't really play around that Pokeball area too much. He knows that Falco is pretty strong at maneuvering all these spots.
Pokeball area.
Yeah, right in the middle. I like telling other players about it. Just use it as a visual guide.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
It is center stage, right?
I think about the little zigzag on FD because that's where you can do a short hop
You showed me
Phantasm
this.
with Fox and
You
you
showed
can
me
edge
this.
cancel on the ledge. Yeah.
I'm like, how are you looking at this diagonal, but not at the Pokeball?
You know, man, I wasn't ever a big Pokemon fan, I'll be honest.
You
Well,
just-
actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I was a big Pokemon fan. Then I caught them all.
And it's done.
And then you're done, dude.
All right. Ooh, this needle is sick. This down smash is still going to connect. And you saw that Swedish just threw a single horizontal needle out there.
Better opening in game 2 for Azel. Oh, look at that. Big smiles from Swedish Delight. He's got a fan club for sure.
Yeah, Swedish is a big cheeser.
He's a big cheeser. Cup of noodles for the cheese.